The early morning sun rose gently over Ridgefield City, washing the streets in gold. At the city's private airport, a sleek convoy of luxury cars came to a slow stop. Inside one of them sat Lily Morgan, a quiet young woman with warm eyes and a thoughtful expression. After spending years in the United States for boarding school, she was finally home. Her father, Mr. Henry Morgan, a respected businessman, had insisted she return to continue her education at Ridgefield Academy, one of the most prestigious schools in the city. As the car door opened, Lily stepped out in a simple white t-shirt and jeans. Her braided hair was neatly tied back, and a light breeze brushed against her calm face. Around her, people whispered and pointed, drawn to the gleaming cars lined up at the terminal. But Lily paid no mind. She had long grown used to the attention her father's wealth brought. "Welcome home, Lily," her father said warmly, pulling her into a hug. "I know Ridgefield Academy will be good for you. Just focus on your studies and enjoy yourself." "I'll do my best, Dad," Lily replied with a smile. Though her father had arranged every comfort for her, Lily had made up her mind about something. She didn't want to be known for her last name or her father's money. She wanted to live simply, quietly, and on her own terms. The next morning, the grand gates of Ridgefield Academy swung open, welcoming hundreds of students back for the new term. Expensive cars glided in, dropping off stylish young men and women dressed in designer uniforms. Then came Lily, arriving quietly on a bicycle. She parked it neatly by the gate, adjusted her shirt, and carried a modest backpack. Some students turned and stared. "Did she just ride a bicycle?" one girl whispered. "She must be on scholarship," another said with a laugh. Lily smiled faintly, brushing past them. Her father's words echoed in her mind. "You don't have to prove your worth with luxury. Character will always outshine wealth." A few minutes later, the sound of a black SUV turning into the schoolyard drew everyone's attention. The door opened, and out stepped Grace Taylor, radiant, confident, and wrapped in the air of someone who enjoyed being admired. Her outfit was flawless, a tailored red blouse, glittering jewelry, and a designer handbag that shimmered in the morning light. Students whispered excitedly. "That's Grace Taylor," one boy murmured. "I heard her family's incredibly rich." "They even donated a new building to the school," another added. Grace smiled to herself, loving the attention. She strutted through the schoolyard like it was her runway. Meanwhile, Lily quietly took a seat at the back of the classroom. Her focus was calm, her expression serene, but all eyes were on Grace, who sat confidently at the front. It didn't take long for Grace to notice Lily, the quiet girl with plain clothes and no interest in attention. By the end of the week, she had made Lily her target. One morning, as Lily parked a bicycle, Grace called out loudly, "Hey, bike girl, do you need me to get you a car? Or should I start a fundraiser?" Laughter rippled through the hallway. Lily turned slowly, met Grace's eyes, and replied gently, "Good morning to you too, Grace." Then she walked away. Grace stood frozen for a moment, unused to anyone answering her calmly. But she wasn't done. Rumors began to spread, whispers that Lily was a poor scholarship student pretending to fit in. Through it all, Lily stayed composed, focusing on her studies. But someone had started to notice her, Ethan Brooks, one of the most admired boys in school. Ethan came from a wealthy family, but unlike most, He was humble and kind. He disliked arrogance, and he didn't like how Grace treated Lily. One afternoon, Grace's voice rang across the cafeteria. "So, Lily, do they give you free lunch here, or do you pay with good grades?" Ethan, sitting nearby, turned sharply. "Grace," he said, his voice firm, "don't you ever get tired of talking about other people?" Grace blinked, caught off guard. "I'm just saying what everyone's thinking," she replied defensively. "Well, maybe everyone's wrong," Ethan said, walking over to Lily's table. "Hey," he smiled. "Mind if I join you?" Lily nodded quietly, and the room fell silent. Whispers filled the air, disbelief that the most popular boy in school was sitting with a so-called bike girl. From across the room, Grace's jaw tightened. A few weeks later, Ridgefield Academy hosted its annual charity event, a day where students showed off their generosity. Grace was eager to shine. When her turn came, she stood tall and said, "I'd like to donate $5,000 to the school's charity." Applause filled the hall. Cameras flashed. Grace smiled proudly. Then came a surprise. "Lily Morgan, $5,000, announced the principal. The room went silent. All eyes turned to Lily, sitting quietly at the back. Grace's smile faded. "She must have begged someone rich for that money," she muttered under her breath. And just like that, another rumor began to spread, that Lily had gotten her donation through Ethan. Still, Lily stayed calm, refusing to respond. But deep inside, she was weary. One morning, the entire school buzzed with whispers. Grace was outside, arguing with a middle-aged woman dressed modestly, holding a food basket. "Mom, I told you not to come here," Grace hissed, her voice low but angry. The woman's eyes welled up. "I just wanted to bring you lunch. You've been skipping meals again." Grace looked around, panicked. "Go away before someone sees you." Just then, Lily arrived on her bicycle and witnessed the scene. She rushed over, helping the woman after Grace shoved the basket away. "Are you all right?" Lily asked softly. The woman nodded tearfully. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." "You didn't," Lily said gently. "Kindness is never trouble." The students around began to whisper again, but this time about Grace. Not long after, one of the students, Ryan, a friend of Grace's, announced a grand party at his mansion. Everyone important would be there. Grace made sure Lily got an invitation, planning to embarrass her in front of everyone. That night, Lily arrived in a simple but elegant dress. Grace immediately called out, "Oh, Lily, vintage, is it? From your grandmother's attic." Laughter spread through the crowd. But Lily just smiled. "Actually, yes. And it's one of my favorites." The room grew quiet, surprised by her calm. Ryan stepped in. "Let's make this night fun. How about a small talent challenge?" Grace smirked. "Perfect. Let's see if Lily can do anything other than ride bicycles." Lily took a deep breath, stepped up to the stage, and began to sing. Her voice was soft and pure, the kind that silenced a noisy room and made you feel something deep inside. When she finished, the hall erupted in applause. Grace forced a smile, but inside, she burned with jealousy. Soon, Grace's lies began to catch up with her. She forged photos, spread rumors, and even tried to make it look like Lily was secretly involved with older men. But the truth came out. Lily's uncle was a respected businessman and family member, not the man Grace had painted him to be. Grace's web of lies began to unravel. Desperate to reclaim her image, Grace decided to throw a massive family party at one of Lily's father's unoccupied mansions. Her mother, who worked there as a cleaner, tried to stop her. "Grace, please. If Mr. Morgan finds out." "No one will," Grace snapped. The night of the party arrived. The mansion glittered with lights and music. Grace welcomed her classmates proudly, pretending it was her home. Then Lily and her father arrived unexpectedly, led there by a confused house butler. The crowd froze. The truth hit everyone at once. It was Lily's home, not Grace's. Grace's face turned pale. The whispers began. And just like that, her perfect image shattered. The next week, Grace was expelled from Ridgefield Academy. Her friends abandoned her, ashamed to be associated with her lies. For the first time, she felt the weight of loneliness and the emptiness of the image she had tried to build. Even her mother couldn't look her in the eye. Consumed by jealousy and despair, Grace began plotting revenge. She convinced a former admirer, Liam, to help her kidnap Lily, just to teach her a lesson. But when the plan went too far, Liam panicked. The police found Lily in an abandoned warehouse before any harm could be done, thanks to Ethan, who had tracked her location. When Grace was arrested, she broke down in tears. "I hated her," she admitted softly, "because she had everything I wanted: peace, love, respect." Weeks later, Lily returned to school, stronger, wiser, but still calm. Ethan walked beside her one afternoon and said, "You've shown everyone what true strength looks like." Lily smiled. "It's not strength, Ethan, just peace. The kind that comes from knowing who you are." The camera pans out as they walk along the quiet path, laughter echoing faintly in the distance. And for once, Ridgefield Academy felt a little kinder, a little more human. In a world obsessed with appearances, the quiet ones often shine the brightest. Because grace isn't about wealth or power, it's about who you become when no one's watching.